If you're like me and millions of others, you've been impacted by the ATF's final ruling on the pistol brace. If you intend to comply and file paperwork,
Stick around, I have some tips for you.
Another one.
Citizen to a citizen, fool. Citizen to a citizen, fool.
Another
True
one.
to life.
Alright, so it's apparent that the ATF is not backing down. They have a bunch of lawsuits that are coming down to the pipeline. They've been submitted, and haven't heard anything about the rule being, I guess, reversed. So it's still going forward. As of today, there's like 40 days left. So this week I decided to go ahead and fill out my Form 1s. I never filled out a Form 1 directly for myself. Typically for my suppressors, I went through Silencer Shop. I put the information in there, and then they did the rest as far as the process is concerned. But this week I went ahead and went through with the process. It's really easy. The ATF conveniently, if you've signed on, or if you have any type of forms with the ATF, you know that they have eForms, and you register, you log on, you get your PIN, set your PIN, and you could submit several forms through this portal. But for the ATF ruling for the brace, I think it's called 2021 R08F, there's a completely separate link that you click on the home screen of atf.gov, and that'll take you to that specific form where you don't have to pay the $200 tax stamp. So at the end, when you have to go ahead and do your digital signature using your PIN, it says pay and submit. That pay and submit button is the pay button is grayed out, and it's understood that you're just complying with the new ruling, and underneath this amnesty program, you don't have to pay the $200. So that was really nice of them, being that we're registering our guns, firearms. So the form is real simple, real straightforward. The part that I really like is when you get to the, so it walks you through, right? You set up your profile when you register on atf.gov, and then it uploads all of that information. Then they ask you for little details like your height, weight, your gender, ethnicity, things like that. Then you have to answer all of these questions. All of them should be no, except for one that's NA. Then after that, it goes into adding a firearm, and the page opens up. It asks you for the manufacturer. It has a drop-down list. I'll give you a great example, because when I was doing this without using this particular tool, or started to do it without, I was just using a regular form. I didn't know which Air Precision company to use. There's Air Precision Inc., Air Precision LLC, and a third one, I forget what it was. Well, what you have to do is you look on the side of your actual firearm, and it'll tell you whether it's Air Precision Inc. or Air Precision LLC. So mine was Air Precision LLC, one example. So you select that, select the barrel length itself, then the full length of the firearm with the brace or stock brace fully extended. Put that in there, serial number you put in there. You take a picture of the engraving. All of these pictures are uploaded Also, you have to take a picture of yourself. They allow you to upload that instead of having to go out and get a picture and write on the back of it, tape it to a form and mail it in. It's great. The first form took me about, because I was going really slow, I didn't want to make any mistakes. First form took me about 30 minutes going through all of the information, making sure everything was correct, making sure the pictures looked good in there, and then going from there. I had to register 6 of them. Fun fact, when you're sending your 5320.23 form in, once you submit the eForm, you're going to get an email. That email is going to have a PDF copy of the actual application, the Form 1, and then you're also going to get a cover letter which has all the information and the control number that corresponds with that application. So what you have to do is you print out that cover letter, and you put that in the envelope. There's an address on there to where it needs to go to, specifically in West Virginia. Fun fact is, I could after I completed all of my applications, I printed out all 6 of them. If you're sending all of them at the same time, you only need 2 fingerprint cards. I didn't know that. I thought I needed 2 fingerprint cards for each application. So needless to say, when I went down to get my fingerprints, I went ahead and got several cards that I didn't really need. But I mean, they weren't that expensive. These were like $20. Another fun fact, don't sit on these. They're only good for 30 days, right? So you have 30 days to go ahead and turn these in from the day that you got your prints done. So I got my prints done on the 17th. I mailed them in on the 18th. Another fun fact, from the day of your application, that you submit it online, you have to have the paper application in their office within 10 business days. If not, then you're gonna go ahead and have to resubmit. All of this, it's buried in the frequently asked questions, but not that I don't like to read, but I figured let me just call them. So I spoke to Brenda, like you know who that is, at the ATF, and she was the one that kind of guided me through, letting me know, hey, I only need to send in 2 fingerprint cards. If I'm sending all of those cover letters in the same envelope, just put the 2 cards in there. Also, it's easier or better than, instead of mailing the Clio copy, because there's 2 copies of this 5320.23 form. One that goes to the ATF, and one goes to your Clio, your chief law enforcement officer. She said it's advisable that you take it directly to the sheriff's office and put it in someone's hands, because somebody may get it and not know exactly what to do with it, because everybody is taking different steps of how they're getting their law enforcement informed. But it's more advisable to get it there, put it in that person's hand, get their information. That way, when the ATF contacts your Clio, and says, hey, were you notified that this person is registering these firearms? They'll have that information in the system already. Honestly, I gotta be honest, I don't know how they're gonna do this. So when this ruling first came out, they said there's anywhere between 1 to 4 million braces. Research has shown that there's more like 10 to 40 million braces out there. I mean, I'm one person and I have 6. Right, so the crazy part about it is the ATF is comprised of 5,099 employees. Like the whole ATF, 5,099 employees. Probably about a little over 2,500 of those employees are field agents. So the rest of them are, I don't know, administrative workers or in-house employees. I don't know how they're going to manage all of these applications. I really don't, but good luck, hats off to them. I know it's just going to cause a problem for other people who are, they're not sitting there submitting forms for their pistol braces. Maybe they want suppressors or something else. It's just going to slow everything up. So hopefully they devise some sort of plan to go ahead and push that through in a fast way. One more thing, So it's by the 31st. So if your application isn't in by the 31st, May 31st, then I mean you can still submit it, but you're gonna have to pay that $200 tax stamp. One fun fact that I didn't know before, because I was planning a trip out of state, and I always bring a couple of rifles. One of them being, one with the pistol brace on it. You can't just go over there with that in this little process, right? Because now you're transporting an SBR. If it's an SBR, you have to get permission from the ATF. I forgot the name of the form or the number of the form, but you have to get prior permission from the ATF to carry that across state lines specific to the state that you're going to be going to. So for example, if I'm going to Florida for one of my shoots, I have to let them know in advance, I'm going to Florida, this is how long I'm staying, this is when I'm coming back, and this is the gun I'm bringing. And from what I understand, the process takes about 30 days because they respond to you back with a letter, and then you keep that letter with you when you travel. Now, what I do understand is you can list multiple firearms on there, and if I'm not mistaken, you can list it for the year, so for the entire year. So if you frequent that place, and you can say, hey, I'm bringing these firearms multiple times to this particular state in 2023. It's good for that amount of time. You just have to allow yourself 30 days because the process takes about 30 days for them to get back to you. Anyway, that's all I got. I don't know if a lot of people are gonna like this video because the push was for everybody to not comply. So that the ATF would reverse their decision. The idea of 10 years in jail per violation and $250,000 fine. I don't have that kind of time, so it is what it is. I already had NFA items on file, so it's just 6 more that they have to go ahead and put on file. Not a big deal. I've got plenty of other firearms that are non-NFA items that I can still enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hey, and stay tuned. Comment. All right. Peace.
Citizen to a citizen, boom. Citizen to a citizen, boom.